Hello, it's Monday. How are we, everybody? Welcome. Say hello if you're coming on. So, I am very excited about, genuinely excited about what I want to talk to you about tonight. I hope the comments work. If you make a comment and I don't respond to it, it's because they're not showing up. I'm not ignoring you. I've just broke my bloody nail. That's annoying. So, what we're going to talk about tonight is desire versus intention. Now, I've shared a couple of posts about this, like some written posts, but I want to talk to it because I want to give it the energy that it deserves. Because this one piece of work was life-changing. And I mean, I don't say those words lightly. I'm not being dramatic, even though, I can be. Life-changing, right? Also broke that nail and that one. They're getting done. And it's such a simple concept. And it's something that we are aware of with regards to, especially if you're in the entrepreneurial space, if you are in spiritual space, manifestation space, you're going to understand this conversation. If you are somebody who is trying to achieve something, or that you've got something on your goal board that has been there for 6 years, and you've got a desire in your heart that you really want to happen, and you really want it. Like, if that's you, I've got a couple of people on, say hi, just so I know the comments are working. I'm going to open my little laptop here, and just so I don't want to miss, because I like to respond, you know what I mean? Let me just get my thing up. I'm just about to tell everybody my password. Okay, let me just get my Facebook up. Natanya, let me just get that up there. Let me just turn the volume down. All of that, we're doubling up. Yeah, say hi if you're on, please. Whoever that is, just so I can see who it is. Okay. So if you've got something that you really want, you desire, it's on the goal board, but it's just not happening. And this can be so frustrating because you really want it. Like, you really want it. You've written loads of things about it. You've written it down a million times. You've scripted on it, and all these things work, right? But what we're talking about is that is the desire. The desire is in here. The desire is mental. It's like we're using the mind. It's like, oh yeah, I really want that. But our intention, if it's not aligned with that desire, I've got notes here. If it's not aligned with the desire, then it doesn't happen. And, the tagline for identity on my Facebook and everywhere is, we don't get what we want, we get who we are. And if we think about that concept in identity, right? And talking about identity, if you are somebody like me who, working class, modest family upbringing, never experienced anything luxury or, anything like that. If that is who I am, because that is how I have been brought up, that's so how I've been conditioned, and I'm talking about me, but you can apply this to you, how you grew up, the environment you were brought up in, the experiences that you had, both positive and negative, that creates our identity, right? But if in your mind you've seen Bougylicious over here and you're just like, I want that, I desire that, you can desire that all you like, but unless your identity is in alignment with it. So when people talk about manifestation, they talk about being an energetic match for the thing. What it means is being the person that receives said thing. And your intention, so you can have a desire and your intention be completely opposite. It can just not be in alignment at all with the desire. And your intentions say far more about you than your desires do. And I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you loads of examples as we go through. But if you think about all creation starts with intention, right? So everything that is created, there is focused attention on it. So the phrase, you know, where energy flows, energy goes and results show. Hi, Laura. So when, oh good, the comments are working, I'm pleased. So when we think about that phrase, and it's easy to say and it rolls off the tongue, when we actually really dig into the meaning of that, it's just like, okay, my desire is this, but my intention is over here. And I'll give you a real world example. So when I started my own business and I suddenly discovered this concept of limitless income, hard to get my head around for somebody who had, you know, been brought up in the way that I'd been brought up and had a fully, you know, full-on corporate start to my life, and whatever job that I did, there was a certain income that you were making and blah, blah, blah. When I shifted into entrepreneurship, when I shifted into working for myself, this concept of limitless income was introduced to me. And suddenly I was like, oh, so I want that. And this really started in my first business, which was a network marketing business. And like, I was suddenly, opened up to this concept of limitless income. And I was seeing people around me earning crazy money, like crazy money. I'm talking like 40, 50K a month. I had never seen that amount. I'd never seen that amount of money. I'd never been around anybody that had made that kind of money. I just didn't, it was like, wow, of course I wanted that, right? Of course I wanted that. Because to me, I mean, it's never really been about the money for me. It's all about what money creates, which is freedom and flexibility and the ability to just say yes to everything that lights your soul up and no to the things that you don't want to do. And that, it's never been about the money per se. It's been about the freedom that money brings. So I saw the freedom and the flexibility and that what they were experiencing. And I wanted that, right? My desire wanted it. Like I wanted it so bad. Like, there was bloody fake checks being pulled up to inspire me, and I wanted it so badly. But my intention wasn't to create it. I told myself it was, and it wasn't until I understood this concept that I looked back at my life, and I looked back at the last 10, 12 years of working for myself, and I go, that's why. And I'm going to share that with you tonight about what that looks like. But understanding this really was like, oh, bless me. Like, now I understand. Now I understand why that didn't happen. Or it didn't happen in the way, I mean, it did happen, I did really well, but it didn't happen in the way that I wanted it to. It didn't happen in the way that I thought it should. It didn't happen in the way it came and it went, and then, all the things that came with that. So if we think about intention as energetic direction, so it is the direction in which you're forcing your energy into, and you're moving with your energy. So if your desire and your intention is aligned, happy days, things are created. But if your desire is here and your intention is over here, so for example, I'll give you an example. If I desired to make X amount of money in my business, but my intention was to stay small, my intention was to not do that, because to do that carried a lot of fear. Who would I become? Would I still be liked? What if I messed it up? Like I've done many times before? What if there was a lot of fear attached to the acquirement of that goal? And so the desire's there, because the desire's like, woohoo, because all, we're visualizing and we're seeing everything happening and it feels really good and it's really exciting, but it's over there. When we think about future self creates gap. It creates separation, because it's just this thing that you're becoming. And there's safety in that. It's much safer to be becoming than it is to be. Because to be means to be that version of yourself, which essentially means that you have got to face, move through, and be that person with the consequences, the unconscious consequences in your mind about that. So if you haven't done the work and you haven't understood, moved through that, the limitation and the fear around that, then your intention is not to do it. You can desire it, but your intention is going off the other way. I'll give you a couple of analogies in a bit to make that clearer. So some intentions are, we desire something, the intention is to make it, and it happens really quickly because it's clean. There's no fear attached to it. There's no baggage. There's no heaviness. And some things take longer. So if you've got a big financial goal or a big goal in your business or a position in your company or whatever, that goal feels bigger. And so now the truth is that goal is available now. If we're going to talk about manifestation, everything that you desire, hi Kelly, everything that you desire is available right now. Like right now, it's available now. And the only reason it takes time is because of your perception of how long you think it's going to take based on your current experiences, your past experiences, your ideas about time, your ideas about how long something should take. Like if I was to ask 10 people how long it would take to make $1 million, everybody would give me a different answer based on their perception, right? So the truth is that the big goal that you've got feels further away because of your identity. You think, I think, we all think that, okay, in order to get there, be that, have that, then it's going to take me this amount of time because and we attach all these rules to it, when actually that thing is available right now, right? But the intention to create it is slowed down by our fear attached to it, to the accumulation of it, right? So, for example, the intention might be, so let's say you want to be promoted to, I don't know, CFO or chief exec or whatever of your company, or, manager or whatever. And you don't think or feel that you're ready for that. So the desire is to be it, but your intention is slower because you have made assumptions based on what you think you are ready for, and therefore it slows that process, right? But if there was no fear attached to that, if there was no rules or stories that you'd attach to that, then you would be like, right, that's what I want, let's go. And the movement, the action will be much quicker. The intention and desire would be aligned, and therefore it would happen quicker. So the key here is that we have to do the work to clean up the intentions. And so all the distance between that and that is created by your perception. Just making sure I got that in. So you can want something really, 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 really badly and have absolutely no intention of creating it. I just want to keep repeating that, because when that lands, like when you get that, you're like, oh. And I'm going to give you some examples from my life and my story. So let me give you an analogy. So let's say that you're driving to New York, right? And you desire to go to New York. So the desire is to go to New York, but you take a wrong turn and your car is going, hi Kerry, your car is going to Chicago. Now, when you've taken I want you to think about a real experience here. When you've taken the wrong turn, or you've gone off the wrong exit on the motorway, and you are now physically going in the wrong direction to where you desire to go. Who's that? Hi! So your desire is to go to New York, but the car, because you've taken the wrong turn or you've missed the exit, is going, hi Lynn, is going towards Chicago. When you miss the exit, no part of that is comfortable, because you're like, fuck, like I'm going in the wrong direction, like, there's anxiety and there's stress and there's frustration rises in your body because your desire is misaligned with your intention, because your intention is go to New York, but your body and your car is going to Chicago. Now, when you see the exit for for New York, and it says New York or Boston or whatever, I don't know if that's geographically correct, work with me. And you take the exit and it says this way to New York or this way to Boston, you go, oh God, oh, it's all stressful, oh, it's all frustrating. But then you finally get on the road to New York. Even if the road to New York says 300 miles, you go, it's all good. We're going to make it. We're on the right road. Even though you're 300 miles away, your body, your nervous system, your body relaxes because you are finally on the right road. It is exactly the same with life. So the frustration that you feel because you're not at your goal yet, And you know, like I can say this with absolute experience over the last decade of my life, right? Is that you know the frustration you feel when you understand what you have to do. You know you want the goal, but there is something that is not allowing you to own it, to move in the direction of it, to take the action. You procrastinate, you put it off, you get caught up in perfectionism, you get caught up in, I'll just tweak the website, I'll just tweak the logo, I'll just make some more stuff in Canva without taking the action towards the thing. Why? And I have asked that question every day for the last 12 years of my life. I have made a living out of finding the answer to that question. And I don't mind admitting that I have only just got this. And the reason that I am so talking about it so passionately is because it has made a phenomenal difference in my life and my business. And it is something that I have learned to do with clients, because I had such a profound experience of this very simple process that it changed the game, right? So it's why I wanted to talk about it on a live rather than just writing it in a post, because it's profound, right? So when we look at your desire, so your desire might be to make more money. Your desire might be to get more clients or more customers in your business. Your desire might be to get more team members in your business if you've got a MLM or a network marketing company. It might be, or if you've got a really high-powered corporate job, it might be that your desire is to rest, to take a week off and to absolutely, unplug and chill. But your intention is to not make the money, because to not make the money would mean that it was familiar. If you've been on the struggle bus for a long time with money, and if you have, I hear you, I feel you, I see you, right? If you've been on the struggle bus a long time with money, that's familiar to you. And our nervous system and our body likes familiar. And so to suddenly catapult yourself into somebody who has abundance of wealth and money coming in from every angle and it being everywhere and more money than you know what to do with, that feels very unfamiliar to your body. So your head can want the shit out of it, but your body's just like, no, I don't know what that feels like. That's unknown. That's uncomfortable. And so we, put one foot in front of the other, like trying to get, and it's one step to do, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And if you think about what I said earlier, nothing starts without intention. And it's a really hard pill to swallow if you've got yourself in the shit with money, and I say this because I've done it, it's a really hard pill to swallow when you say, I intended that. That was my intention. It wasn't my desire, but that was my intention, because that's what felt comfortable. That's what I could deal with, that I can handle that. I know what that feels like. I don't know what that feels like. And none of this is happening consciously, by the way. Of course you wouldn't choose it consciously, but you will sabotage and you will procrastinate and you will do whatever you need to do to not do it, because let's just keep you over here. Let's keep you in the box, right? You might want more clients in your business, but there's part of you that has a fear of, will I get the results for them? Will they like me? Will they complain about me? And you have a lot of fear attached to working with people. Will I get too close? There's going to be lots of fear around that. And the rest, you might want a week off, but your body doesn't know how to rest because it's constantly trying to prove something to somebody and someone. So you can't rest because your body doesn't allow you to do it. No, don't rest, because if you rest, we'll lose it. If you rest, you'll lose the momentum. If you rest, your people will call you lazy. And there's all this shit attached to the intention in our body. So how do we align them? So what we have to do is we have to analyze and explore your current intentions. And I do not mind sharing with you that when I did this is a while ago now, but when I did it, I had to say out loud, I intend on staying broke. I intend on getting into the shit. I intend on nobody showing up. I intend on no one seeing my posts. I intend on And it's a hard pill to swallow, but let me tell you what happens in the magic of that. And this is a process, by the way. It's not just that. There is a process I take clients through. Because when you say the desire, you say, I want X, fill in the blank. So whatever you want, whatever your desire is, I want you to just say it out loud to yourself. Like, I want 10 clients in my next program. I want 10 new team members tomorrow. I want 10 grand in the bank by the end of the month. I want blah, blah. What you have to do is when you say it out loud, you have to feel how true it feels in your body. And the way that you do that, so when people say drop into your body, this is what they mean. So we live 98% of the time in our head. You know, personal development for me, spiritual development, growth is about feeling into what's right in the body, energetic alignment. You know, it's feeling what feels right and what doesn't feel right. And the thing is, we're so up in our heads most of the time, we're completely cut off from the sensations in our body. And what I noticed mostly about my journey was I joked and said, no wonder I ended up with a bloody six-pack. I've been tense for decades. Because what I noticed is that my anxiety, and I'm not an anxious person, I'm not saying I have anxiety at all, but anxiety is a sensation in the body. And that can be a very subtle sensation. And for me, it was just a tightness in my torso. A tightness in my torso constantly. And when I actually really tuned into my body, I was like, fuck, I'm so tense. You know, and I went for a massage very recently and she was like, how are you even walking about? Because they've been carrying this tension in my shoulders, in my neck, in my torso, in my back, my lower back, like just carrying tension. Because if when you say your goal out loud, there is any whisper of tension in your chest, tension in your stomach, any form of tension anywhere, it's because your body's going, it doesn't agree. So the question is, how true does it feel for you? So for example, if you were to say, I'd like to make $10,000, £10,000, wherever you're watching from, by the end of July. So that's in the next 8 days, 10 days, whatever bloody day it is, 10 days, 12 days. And you would go up into your head, but how? Where's that going to come from? That's not possible. And then your fear and your perception and it's absolutely possible that could happen, especially if you've got your own business. Absolutely possible that could happen. Someone could drop in tomorrow. That is possible. That exists. That outcome exists. But the reason that we push that outcome away is because our body is just like, nah. Would I want that? What would I do with that? And all the unconscious rules and shit that we attach to it. So when we feel into the body and think, right, how true is that? Okay, that's not true. It doesn't feel true. And this is about brutal honesty. The work I am doing now is gritty. It's honest. There's no fluff. There is zero fluff. It is gritty and it is honest. So it's like, right, let's be honest. What's the intention? And the process takes you through owning that intention, owning what it actually really is, and sitting with it. And giving it airtime and giving it space and giving it conscious presence and just being like, okay, let me feel into that what's the word I'm looking for? It disarms the charge. It takes the energy out of it. It takes the tension out of it. And then we can set a new intention. And then we feel into the body. How does it feel now? It feels a little bit truer now. And the process is that, right? So, and the one thing that the difference here, and this is the difference of everything that I'm doing now with clients in the programs, everything, is that it's so opposite to what I'd always been taught. You know, when we talk about intention, you know, manifestation, and it's not that these things don't work, but it has to be a conjunction of these two things. But if you just focus on what you want, visualize about what you want, it's fucking exhausting for one. Excuse my French, hope no one's got any kids around. It's exhausting because it takes a lot of mental focus to be in that space in your head all the time. And what happens is you can't do that because your mind is a catalogue out of all the stuff that's gone wrong and your mind is looking to be right. And so it will have an expectation of, oh, well, that's probably not going to work out. And when, you know, it's something I talk a lot about now is assumptions. Like, you've got to look at what you're unconsciously assuming is going to happen, because your assumptions are along with your intention, because that's all wrapped up together. That is what's running the show. So to have your mind consistently focused on what you want, is exhausting. It's not sustainable. And it's the reason that we suffer inconsistency, and it's also the reason why we feel, oh God, like yesterday I felt really good and I was really on it and so clear in my mind, and then today like everything's gone to shit. It's because it's virtually impossible to fix this. And I hate to use the word fix because, you know, nothing's broken, but it's impossible to solve this problem from the neck up. The brain and the mind has a part to play, but it has to be in alignment with your body. Your body has to agree. You have to feel as little resistance as you possibly can. And also, to operate from this mind space it takes effort, it takes energy, it's exhausting. And I don't know about you, but for me, this is about ease and flow and grace and calm vibes. That's what I want. I don't want to be pushing and hustling and trying. It's exhausting. What I want is ease. And I heard this in a training I did last week, actually. It was on manifestation with amazing Gemma for Manifest 12, so I'll credit her for this. She explained the path of least resistance in such a phenomenal way. She said that the path of least resistance does not mean that everything gets to be easy. It means that you become the kind of person who deals with anything that comes up with ease. And when you think about the process of being able to really sit with your real intention, to alchemize that, leaving the space for new embodiment, leaving the space for new intentions, cleaner intentions, it changes everything. And I'll tell you the impact of it. The impact of it is what used to feel like wading through treacle, what used to feel like climbing up a never-ending hill, you know, the mountain without a peak, because you'd get to the top and then the fog would clear and there'd be another fucking mountain immediately after it, right? Going from that to feeling very little resistance, to feeling, oh, I'm just walking nicely along a nice country path with no hills, and being able to move and take action cleanly and freely. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, then that's okay. But I know that if you know what I'm talking about. It's just being able to go, oh, that's what I desire. This is what I have to do to get it. Let's go. Everything speeds up. And at the same time, everything slows down. So there is a duality to that. The way that things come to you speeds up, but you feel like you're slower. It's a joy. And I will be forever grateful for that. So, what time is it? Okay, 1:30, look at that. Exactly, perfectly, half an hour. So, I am actually offering some intention clearing, intention setting, alignment with desire intention setting sessions. If you would like one, it's just a one-off session, and we will get really deep into what your actual intentions are. And the reason that it's really good to do it in a coaching situation is because I am able to ask you questions that guide you to what they actually are. And I'm also there to slow you down to sit with it. Because what happens is that when something feels uncomfortable, we can bypass it. We can go, yeah, that's the intentions, and we can write them down. You can write something down all day long. Hi, Maria. You can write something down all day, but you're not connecting with it. You're not feeling it. And my job in that session is to help you get to what the real intentions are. So you can align it with the desire. We look at your desires, see how clean they are. If there's any muddiness, we go find what the mud is. We alchemize that shizzle, leaving space for you to align that desire with that intention. And it's so freeing. It's so freeing. Hey, How are you? Right, Rylan? It's a private joke between me and Missy. So if you are interested in one of those, I am doing just a one-off session. We can align your desire with your intention. And what you will get out of that is, A, you'll feel absolutely amazing because you'll know that your desires are aligned with your intentions and therefore able to manifest them quicker. You'll also know how to do it. And so you'll take away the process, understanding how to do it. So the next time it comes up, because it's not a one and done situation. I wish it was. If it was, I could charge about £1 million for the session. It's nowhere near that. But if it's, once you understand the process, because as you move through, so for example, I messaged my coach last week and I was just like, oh, this has come up again. And it was just like, okay, from what angle? Like, it's just, okay, it's come up. But because I understood it and because I understood the process, I was just able to go, yeah, get it, move it. And it's just the compound effect of these moments of honesty and moments of clarity that help you to move forward and create momentum. Otherwise, you're just going round and round and round in the same old cycle. And I've been doing that. I did that for a long time. And I know how it feels and it sucks arse, right? So if you would like a desire and intention alignment session, you know where I am. You can inbox me, you can comment yes below, and I'll send you the details. It's a one-off session. You'll go with the process. Also, actually, what I'm going to do with it, just thought of that, is you'll get an hour, 60-minute session to do that, and you'll also get 5 days in Telegram with me. Because afterwards, it's about now implementing that. It's about seeing how that feels and seeing how it comes up. Because it's not just about the session. It's about the compound effect of the actions after it that matter. So you'll get the hour session plus 5 days in Telegram between us private. And, you know, because when we're doing it in the session, your intentions might come up about one desire, but you've probably got more than one, right? So we can do it on one key desire in the session. And then on the 5 days afterwards, you could bring some other desires up and we can just do them by voice note, which is really, really powerful because you get to read it back and you get to hear it and then you get to keep that as well. So if you are interested in one of those, let me know. I would love to help you do this. I would love to help you shift into a new space because I tell you what, it's juicy. Okay, thanks for being here. Thanks, Maria. Thanks, Missy. Thanks, Kerry, Lynn, Kelly, Laura. It's been absolutely lovely to see you. I will see you next Monday. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.